we realised that our visitor numbers were dropping away year on year for about the last 5 or 6 years, in a steady decline. And visitors are also expecting so much more when they come along to visitor attractions nowadays, and quite honestly, some of the elements in terms of the visitor facilities, in terms of the loos and the shop and things, really could do with an upgrade. The collections we have and the displays, the current displays, are very good indeed, but they do show the passage of 1.5 million people going past them, so starting to get slightly dishevelled. Other materials come up. Who knew there was a Roman circus in Colchester, for instance? Some amazing finds made in the last 20 years since the last redevelopment. So everything was kind of working itself together to make sense for a major development. So we're very fortunate in that we have £3.25 million worth of funding from the Heritage Lottery Fund, plus another £250,000 from the European Union, from the Friends of the Museum and from the Friends of Colchester Roman Wall, as well as Colchester Borough Council feeding into this project, and the Essex Heritage Trust. So they've all come together to fund us on the project. And what we're going to do now, we shut at the beginning of January. We've now got to the point where we've emptied virtually all the current collections out. By the beginning of March, the museum will be entirely clear. And what we're going to do at that point is reopen it for 4 weeks, so the public can see an empty castle. And the last time the building was like that would have been in 1935, immediately after the current roof went on the castle, just before they put the displays in. So that's a very exciting moment for us. We then close again from the 8th of April this year onwards, right the way through to Easter 2014, when we're looking to reopen the museum with all the brand new displays in the castle.
We have now got the first contractors coming in to actually take down the timber frame building and the fireplace. We've had 35 different volunteers working over a fortnight now. We've now succeeded in clearing all of the objects from all of the cases. All we need to do now is get contractors in to clear the objects from the castle and get them into storage.
We'll still be concentrating quite on the incredible kind of archaeological collections in Colchester. So the kind of time span for the museum is from the foundation of the first Colchester in the Iron Age, when it was called Camalodunum, right through up to the Civil War siege of Colchester in 1648. So generally into the 17th century, and you'll see a lot of the kind of old favourite exhibits, things like the tombstones of Facinus and Longinus, the Colchester vase, the Colchester Sphinx. They'll all be back and on display, but not in the same positions that they are now. The uniqueness of Colchester Castle comes in a variety of guises. Well, actually, it's a number of almost unique features feeding together. One is the extraordinary history of the castle itself. I'm not aware of any other building in this country where you have a Norman castle, which is almost 1,000 years old, itself built on Roman foundations, which is 2,000 years old. That sense of length of occupation of a single site is extraordinary. You then add to that the fact that the collections that we have are designated archaeology collections. They're seen as of national and international importance. In fact, if you want to tell the history of Britain, then you'd actually come here to Colchester for the late Iron Age, early Roman chapter of the history, because what we have in this museum actually reflects the fact of how important Colchester was at that point. And the British Museum, international scholars, they all recognise that. So that combination of incredible collection and an amazing building makes this unique.